They won a game. And Matt thinks George Springer might be the key to unlocking all of this. It's Locked On Blue Jays, and it starts right now.
You are Locked On Blue Jays, your daily Toronto Blue Jays podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome to Locked On Blue Jays, your Thursday episode as part of the Locked On Podcast Network. He's Matt Bonaparte. I'm Ben Shulman. Thanks so much for making us your first listen every day. You can catch us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Odyssey, Stitcher, Podbean, YouTube, Twitter at Locked On Jays. Email us, lockedonbluejaysreal@gmail.com.
We have an email.
You guys haven't been using it recently, and we are lonely. All right, series recap time.
Well, I mean, like, somebody emailed us.
Oh.
Yeah.
Have you read it?
No, but do you want me to read it?
No, not yet. Next segment. We'll recap and we'll do it next segment. Blue Jays lose the series 2-1. They do win the finale, so it's kind of like one of those days where you go 1 for 5, but you got to hit your last at bat. Don't know how to feel about it. I'm just going to go with my storyline right away. It wasn't good. It was a bad series. Don't get me wrong. But you stayed alive. You know, what kind of pod would we be having right now if they had lost and were out of the playoff picture?
You'd be like, what do you mean?
What? So I think all things considered, at least they stayed alive. And when it gets this late in the season, you do somewhat have to treat it one game at a time, as much as, you know, series by series feels normal. So, yeah, I mean, would I like them to have won 2 games? Obviously. Could they have won game 2? Surely. They were up 2-0 very early and did absolutely nothing offensively from the 3rd inning on, or 4th inning on. But at the same time, you know, the lead in the wild card has fallen to places like 1.5 before. And they have found a way to boost themselves back up. So you stayed alive, and that's the bare minimum I'm going to ask. They did the bare minimum. I'm not happy, but I am satisfied. What's your storyline, big guy?
My storyline is that I was right about George Springer being the key to this offense. They couldn't hit the ball until Judgy came in, a little pinch hit action. He was 0 for 10, as Buck told you, going into that at-bat as a pinch hitter. Gets his 1,000th career hit in that at-bat and lets out a mighty roar on its way to first base and a lead in the game. So George is the man. And I'm going to roll right into my MVP with that. He's also my MVP because of that at-bat. He didn't play the whole series. He's coming off the old injured list, but the guy is an animal. And I think when you have him in the lineup, the entirety of the offense changes, because something we don't talk about on the pod a lot is that this is a young team. And when you have a guy like George, who's 32 years old and has been around the block and has won a World Series MVP even, 2017, trash can or not, he's been around the block. He's seen it all, and he can lead a team. So George Springer is the man for me.
Yeah, and he had a good series generally. You know, in his first game back, he picked up 2 hits. He did get the start in game 2. He had a hit there and then the pinch hit. So he ends the series 4 for 9 with a double. Also walked, obviously, that clutch RBI, and that unlocked his 6-run inning. So, yeah, I mean, George, we went over it when we were previewing the series because we knew he was coming back. So important to the team. I mean, how much deeper is the lineup when you add a George Springer? And it's not the magnitude of adding a Vlad, but in terms of the lineup, it's maybe the next best thing. You could make arguments for other guys, but it's pretty darn close. So, yeah, George has been there. He's hung tough, and he was the perfect guy to get them at least what appears to be right now out of a little bit of a skid. So, especially offensively. So, yeah, I like that. I'm going to do 2 shout-outs to guys we're not naming MVP. Oh, no. I hope you didn't hear that.
Oh, we did.
But, Locked on Syracuse host Brad Klein just called me. Former Locked on Syracuse host Brad Klein just called.
Former Locked on Syracuse host Brad
Shout out to
Klein.
Santi, who went 5 for 8 in the series and did technically drive in the decisive runs because they ended up getting one back, so he had the double. And shout out to Vlad for hitting 2 homers in this series. He was big just in the games that they didn't win. So I have to go with the guy who was big in the game they did win, and that's my homie, Glenn Ross Stripling, the guy who I picked as my hype train coming into it. Who would have thunk it? Ross Stripling takes a perfect game into the 7th inning. That was nasty. The offense needed a lot of time to get going, and Ross provided them with that time. And even though Voth had a good appearance, Ross had Voth having quick breaks in between. And eventually, not against Voth, but against the bullpen, the Blue Jays broke through. And, an ordinary outing, even a regular good outing, would have had the Blue Jays in trouble. But instead, Ross decided that he was the boss in this situation. Ross the boss. And he was phenomenal. His ERA is back below 3. He's at a 2.93. What? This guy's like gotta be in your rotation next year, Gotta be. Speaking of, I didn't want to leave that much time for it because I don't think we have opinions that are that unique to anyone else. I'll just say I am pleased that they decided to put Kikuchi in the pen. I really wasn't sure they were going to do it. But they got pragmatic here and were like, we need to win.
That's one of the most expensive relievers in baseball.
Yeah, he ain't your closer, your setup, or your 7th inning guy. I can tell you that. But and if the playoff roster is the thing we have to worry about, because I don't want to talk about the playoffs anymore like it's a for sure thing with the Jays. But if that's a thing, I don't know if he makes it. But
shot.
Yeah.
How could you justify that?
But maybe there is an avenue where he pitches well out of the bullpen and can regain confidence. Regardless, right now, Mitch White and company, even if it is Kikuchi for an inning or 2 after, probably give the Jays a better chance to win. So I'm happy with it. I would imagine you are too.
Yeah, totally. Absolutely am. It's about time, as I said. That guy cannot start baseball games for a living. He's just not good enough at it.
So you say Kikuchi in the pen. You had George. I had Ross as our MVPs. We're going to read the email and do He Was a Blue Jay. But first, I have a message from the National Highway Traffic Safety Association. Imagine you're hanging out with some friends and putting back a few drinks, but a few becomes a few too many. As the evening comes to an end and people start to head out, you think of calling for a ride. Nah, you live nearby. You can make it home okay. It's no big deal. What are the odds you'll get pulled over anyway? And even so, what's the worst that could happen? Your insurance goes up, you lose your license, you lose your job, you total your car, you kill someone? Everyone knows about the risks of driving drunk. The results are tragic and often deadly. However, that still doesn't stop everyone from getting behind the wheel while under the influence. That's why police officers are out there right now looking for impaired drivers on our roads to save lives. So if you think you're okay to drive after a few drinks, think again, play it safe, and plan ahead to get a ride. It only takes one mistake to change your life or someone else's forever. Drive sober or get pulled over. All right, before He Was a Blue Jay, Locked On Blue Jays continues with your email.
This one is from Brandon. We now count his emails. This is the 3rd one. Brandon, we really do appreciate it. You emailed us this morning at 10:35 a.m. Sorry we're getting to it the next day, but hey, it's okay. Brandon asks, is it time to hit the panic button? I understand that we gave Kikuchi a lot of money. I can live with that mistake. Isn't the first player we overpaid and won't be our last gamble. At what time do we separate winning a game versus playing someone because of a mistake? Is this a case of the manager being told how to set his lineup? I'm struggling to understand why they're continuing to make the same decisions over and over. Keep up the great work, guys. Cheers, Brandon. Brandon, we appreciate you, and we appreciate your email and question. how about the Jays front office seeing that email on its way and answering his question
Yeah.
for him before it even got to us? You got your wish. He's in the pen now. Kikuchi will never start a game again for the rest of his days. Probably not true. But at least he won't do it again this season, most likely.
Yeah. I mean, I think first of all, I just want to say, I don't think this is like a John Schneider unique thing. I think almost every team in Major League Baseball these days, the front offices, maybe the Blue Jays are lesser so. I have no idea. Like, neither of us are involved enough to know. But most front offices have their hands in the daily lineup. They might not set every position, and especially the rotation. I mean, they assembled it. So there's money involved, and they were trying to get use out of him, but they finally have reached their wits' end, to which we appreciate. So, yeah. I don't think we have much more to say on it, but if you do.
I do not.
All right, should we get into He Was a Blue Jay Season 5, the toughest season of all time?
The worst ever.
You're 1 and 2 with lots of bonus
got
hints.
one?
You got the last one. Yeah, you got Raul Mondesi, remember?
Oh, yeah.
We turned the 5 hints into like 10, but you got him.
All right, let's do it.
If you haven't listened to He Was a Blue Jay, niche Blue Jay guy you wouldn't remember as a Blue Jay, give 5 hints to my man Bones. He has 30 seconds or 3 answers in between each hint to try and guess who this Blue Jay is based on the hints I give him. If he cannot get it in the 5, then he taps out and loses. All time, he's 26 and 10 in season 5. He's 1 and 2. He has never finished a season below 500. Are you ready, Bones?
Yeah.
I will say, I believe you will be discouraged early, but encouraged later. So don't get your hopes down. All right. This utility, mostly an infielder, debuted with Atlanta in 1998 and played until 2013.
Cliff Pennington.
No, but he was a Blue Jay.
I know. I was going to use him on you one day, but I decided it was too niche.
Oh, really? I think I would have got him.
What'd you say?
I think I would have got him.
Yeah, you probably would have.
Because he was on good teams. He was on a good team.
Did you know that he threw the last out of Dallas Braden's perfect game?
I didn't know that. I actually
that would have been my final hint. Okay. This is 1993 to 2013?
1998 to 2013.
Okay, still a pretty long career. That's 15 years.
Yeah.
But is it 15 years of garbage? That's the question. I don't know. Hold on.
Hint 2 is geared to your wheelhouse of the years you would have followed baseball the most intensely. Though he was never an all-star, he was a standout with 20 homers in 08 and 20 homers in 09. He hit 20 for the Cubs in 08. He hit 20 with Cleveland/St. Louis in 09.
20 for Cleveland and St. Louis. And he's a middle infielder?
He was a utility. He did appear like he's so evenly split between 3 positions. I'll tell you the 3.
Mike Aviles?
No. I'll tell you the 3 positions he was evenly split as, because I found it hard to try and classify this guy without just saying utility, which is kind of a bummer. It doesn't give you anything. I'm on his career splits. Give me 1 second.
Cleveland and St. Louis.
Did I miss my position?
I don't know what you did. What did you do?
He played over 300 games as a second baseman, over 300 games as a third baseman, and he played over 100 games as a shortstop and over 100 games as a right fielder.
Wow, this guy was everywhere.
He was really a utility.
He had 20 homers.
Back-to-back years,
He's a
08
decent
and 09.
player.
Yeah, not an all-star, but like a good player.
Okay, I'll move on. Keep that in mind.
Hint number 3, I don't think you're going to like that much, but maybe. He was a Blue Jay in 2013.
Move on.
Hint number 4, he was recently one of the voices of MLB The Show.
DeRosa?
That is correct.
Hey, Mark DeRosa, I'll take
Yeah,
that.
hint 5 was going to be he's an MLB Network analyst.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Mark DeRosa, give me the line.
He was a Blue Jay?
Did you know he was a Blue Jay?
I didn't.
He was Blue Jay in 2013, 88 games. Honestly, wasn't that bad. 733 OPS, whatever.
When you
But
look at Mark DeRosa, or at least when I look at Mark DeRosa, I don't say, that guy definitely played baseball. Like, it looks like he was made to be an analyst.
he was like a very average player. He had a couple very solid years, mainly like
Good.
06 to 09.
He never won a championship, though. He was on a championship roster, and then I guess he got cut.
He has a ring, I would assume, from the Giants, but he was not with the team.
26 games, I mean.
He was not with the team during the 20. By the way, we did Raul Mondesi yesterday. Baseball Reference has an error, and it says Raul Mondesi was on the 2015 Royals.
Really?
But that was at Alberto, then known as
Okay, I
Raul
gotta see
Mondesi
that.
Jr. Go to his playoff batting. It doesn't show that he appeared, but it just has like 2015 KCR.
Did not play in series. That's hysterical.
He was 44.
Good find from you.
Do you want you're 2-2. Do you want the hard one? I don't even know if the hard one's fair.
Oh, we're going for it anyway.
All right. I promise you this won't be the last he was a Blue Jay of this season, because I would feel bad if you finished under 500 on this one. Like, I would at least give you I really don't think I can do this guy.
You're doing it anyway. We're doing it. Let's go.
All right. I don't have hints written. This off the dome. This corner infielder debuted for the Red Sox in 01 and immediately featured in their lineup. He played 139 games that year.
Wow. Trot Nixon.
No.
I don't think he was a corner infielder. I just like saying his name. Oh, I don't know. I was too young. In fact, I was 0 years old.
Shall I continue?
Yeah, go ahead.
Although he only played until 2007, he was a two-time All-Star.
Wow.
I think when I say this guy's name, you're going to be like, I know that guy, but there's no chance I would have guessed him. You know, like, he's kind of a trivia question.
Move on.
Not move on. Significantly better. And
I wonder if the whole career was with the Red Sox.
well,
Willie Mopena.
At least some of it was with the Jays, I'll tell you that.
Oh, yeah, sure. Okay, I'll move on.
I'll career path in a detailed way we've never done before. Red Sox from 01 to 03, he was a 2002 All-Star. Diamondback from 03 to 04. Blue Jay from 05 to 06 was an 05 All-Star with the Blue Jays. San Francisco Giant for the latter half of 06, and then in 07 he played with the Angels and the Dodgers.
I really have no chance at this. Juan Francisco.
Incorrect.
All right, I'll move on. How many hints do I have left? 2?
I gave you, you have 2 hints left. Here's one that you're either going to get immediately or not at all. In John Gibbons' first stint with the Blue Jays, so that's earlier. Wait. It is alleged, although I don't know if it's confirmed, that this player and Gibbons fought.
Oh, I actually have heard that story.
Physically
I have no idea who the
fought.
guy is, though.
Physically fought.
Is he like a fat white guy?
I mean, yeah, he wasn't that fat, really. I would say he's in decent shape. But he's white.
All right, move on. Last hint.
It's a good question what the last hint should be. I'm trying to find you something that might help you out.
Yeah, I'll think while you do that. So I'm thinking, like, I know this guy, but, like, when Ben says his name, I'm going to have heard his name, but, like,
you're going to have heard of him.
Like, I never would have guessed it.
Yeah.
Unless you give it to me right here and I could get it.
The fight, by the way, was because he had to share first base with Lyle Overbay and third base with Troy Gloss. Troy Gloss went off that year. So that's why he fought him. I don't know. I didn't write out hints for this guy before, so it's his initials are SH.
Sean Hillebrand. Shea Hillebrand.
There you go. There you go.
Let's go.
I feel good enough about that. You're 3-2.
Let's go.
So, like, I was worried about Shea Hillebrand, you know? It's a little niche.
I wouldn't have gotten it if you didn't give me his initials. I don't know why when you said SH, Shea Hillebrand was the first name I thought of.
You even kind of stopped me. I was actually going to continue that hint, but then you started answering. But I was going to say even more so, his initials are SH and his first name starts with
That's how my brain works, though. And you've seen that so many times and he was a Blue Jay where, like, I will have no chance at it, and then immediately I have it. And it's just right there. That's the same thing that happened with Ted Lilly. Is I didn't have it, and I just went, Ted Lilly, and I had it.
Yeah, you named the entire rest of, like, the 09 Cubs. You named all of them. And they had 6 starters that year, so you had already named 5.
Go.
All right. You want to pay some bills, and then we'll talk about the Yankees, who, as we are recording this, are in the 9th inning with the Rays, but not when you're listening.
Just watch the pitch for a strike. You hate that.
All right, get to your advertisement. Corporate stooge.
Did you know that the key to sustainable weight loss is through your liver? We're talking about the body's metabolic furnace right here. Constant exposure to thousands of man-made and environmental toxins have us all using overworked livers, but now it's easy to rejuvenate your liver health and reignite your metabolism thanks to Liver Health Formula by Pure Health Research. Liver Health Formula contains 8 liver-boosting super nutrients like turmeric, beet, and artichoke extract, all of which work together to wake up a sluggish liver and turn it into a toxin-flushing and fat-burning machine. No more bloated belly, no more uncomfortable digestion, no more feeling tired and low on energy all the time, and best of all, Liver Health Formula makes it easier to maintain a healthy body weight long term. As a listener of our show, you can try Liver Health Formula risk-free today. Get a free bottle of Curb Fit with it. Curb Fit is a safe and all-natural appetite suppressant, making it easier to say no to naughty foods. This makes it the perfect complement to Liver Health Formula. Go to getliverhelp.com/MLB to learn more. Again, that's getliverhelp.com/MLB to try Liver Health Formula completely risk-free and claim your free bottle of Curb Fit with your order. Go to getliverhelp.com/MLB now to get started.
The Bones series. Jays haven't played the Yankees in a while.
Yeah, I'm going to try and go. So maybe I can get some pictures for the
That'd be cool.
machine.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Both teams stink right now.
Sure.
Really stink. I mean, even if the Rays, who are bad, or the Yankees, who are batting, and Hicks just really hurt his ankle, are batting in the bottom of the 9th, win this, they've basically done what the Jays have done, which is like, oh, you didn't get swept, but you're still playing awful. Kind of a win-win situation for the Jays. They either catch the Rays, and you'll know by the time you're listening to this, or they move up one more game on the Yanks. The Yankees are not hitting much, are they?
No, they can't hit anything. That's
except for Judge.
I mean, yeah, Judge does hit the ball, but he hasn't hit a homer in what feels like a while. But it's also because he's just been on a rampage all season long. Probably like 5
11 at bats.
Yeah. I'll actually look, but
he's not hitting 70. I'll tell you
that. You don't know. He's got a whole month.
Oh, I know.
He's got a whole month. Last homer was 5 games ago? 6 games ago.
He's got a month to hit, what, 23 home runs?
Bonds did it. Anyway.
Wow. Don't do that. How did Bonds do it?
That's a good question. No, but nobody can hit besides Judge. They don't have Stanton. He's out right now. I doubt he comes back. He hasn't even started a minor league rehab stint, so he probably won't be back for this series. DJ is slowly making his way back into the fold. So you will probably see him. What are you gonna say?
And sorry, they don't have Clay Holmes. Michael King's out for the year. Who else? Isn't there another reliever not there? Or they
Chapman's
just.
out to lunch, but I don't know if you're talking about
Well, he's
him.
pitching better recently, is he? All the Yankee
You're
fans are
better,
like,
whatever
we
you
need
want to
him as
call
the
it.
closer. All right, who's your what do you want to do? Hype train, scary, dealer?
Your decision, fella.
Oof. All right, and then I'm gonna do my own scary, because while they are missing some guys, there is this fella named Ron Marinaccio, and he's good. He's definitely good. He's only pitched
Martial,
20.
that's my guy.
Only pitched 26 innings this year, to be fair. Like, he doesn't pitch a ton. But after a slow start, he's just been absolutely filthy. Like, it's kind of like the Clay Holmes thing where it's like, oh, I'm going to give up an earned run in my first game of the season and then none for a month. Ron Marinaccio, going back to May 22nd, 19 appearances, 0.40 ERA, 1 earned run in 22 and 2/3. Just 1 run, too. It's not like he got somehow fortunate with like an error and then gave up a bunch. Just 1 earned run. BABIP against him, 0.71, which points to a little bit of unluckiness, but mostly weak contact. So he just got called back up. They only had him down because he had options, not because he wasn't
Incredibly
good.
silly move, I'll tell you.
Yeah,
that
well, they didn't know this would happen. And to keep Wandy Peralta or whoever they wanted to keep.
It was Albert Abreu.
Albert Abreu. Yeah, to keep Albert Abreu, who they're not going to put on the playoff roster.
He's going to get DFA'd like next week.
I know. They already DFA'd him earlier this year.
Yes.
They've DFA'd him before. Who's your
He's
scary?
going to have a double DFA. My scary is a guy that got called up to the team today, when you're listening to this tomorrow. We're talking Oswaldo Cabrera.
Yesterday.
Oh my gosh, dude. What did I say tomorrow? I meant yesterday. Anyway, Oswaldo Cabrera, he's not doing well in the game that you're listening to last night, not tomorrow night, last night. But in AAA, in his last 20 games, he was hitting .382 with a 1.145 OPS, 5 homers, 17 ribbies, 10 walks, and 29 hits in those 20 games. So he absolutely was raking, which is why the Yanks brought him up, because Isaiah Kiner-Falefa might as well go up to the plate without a bat in his hand because he can't do anything with it.
He hit his homer. He hit his one homer.
Great, good for him. He hit 1 homer. Oswaldo Cabrera, though, might hit more than that. So stay tuned because he's my scary.
Cool. My hype train plays short. You know what? Is Bo full Bo? No. But he had a solid series. And I think there's good things to come. I think him hitting lower in the order is good for him. They have to throw good pitches to guys lower in the order. They just kind of have to, as long as the offense is hitting well, which granted they haven't, but they were before August. So I like Bo to have a good series. It's mostly gut feeling with a little bit of recent success to back it up, but not like crazy. I just think it's Bo's time, I just think it's Bo's time.
Maybe it's Bo's time. I think it's Vlad's time. Vlad, everybody knows he rakes against the Yankees. Don't forget that game against Cole earlier this year, beginning of the season, 3 tanks and a double that almost went out. I mean, that guy, he is the man in Yankee Stadium. So I would watch for that guy to be doing some things.
This is kind of a big one. I mean, I didn't think there would be a race, but if the Blue Jays take 3 out of 4, because it's a 4, right? Yeah, I'm not wrong.
Yes, it's a 4.
3 out of 4. I mean, let's just even say the Yankees win tonight. Blue Jays are 9 back. They take 3 out of 4. They're 7 back. I know it's not like 1, but it's scary for the Yankees if they get close. Bones is visibly disgusted, although I think it's at the Yankee game. So yeah, this is a big one. Looking forward to it. They needed the win beforehand. We'll see if they can do more. And we'll be here to react. I feel like with the Yankees, game reacts could end up being like 20 minutes instead of 10 for this series. So we'll see what else we have time to do.
Sure.
Please email us. If you want to email us about this Yankee series, we'd just love to hear your thoughts, So that would be fun. Bones is full on watching the Yankee game, so I'm gonna wrap it up. He's Matt Bonaparte. I'm Ben Shulman. Go check out the Locked On MLB pod. MLB expert Paul Francis Sullivan brings humor, passion, excitement, fashion, suave, and a little bit of mojo to all the biggest
Suave.
news around the league. He's a connoisseur. Check him out, and we appreciate you listening. We'll catch you tomorrow on Locked On Blue Jays.